Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Alex, and the Denver Nuggets are looking so dangerous halfway through the regular season. There were some skeptics on how good they could actually be because Jamal Murray was trying to get back into play from his ACL injury, and MPJ also struggling to stay healthy, but so far they've proven to be back and they're honestly better as ever. So let's talk about why this just might be the season the Denver Nuggets get over the hump and make it to the NBA Finals. Before we start though, if you do end up enjoying this video, make sure you guys like and sub. Trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so it would mean a lot. Anyways, let's get started. First, let's talk about how well everyone is playing on this team, and it all starts with Jokic, who yet again is having another MVP caliber season, averaging 25 points, 11 rebounds, and almost 10 assists a game. What makes this so impressive is that he is making his shots at an unbelievable rate, shooting 62% from the field, which is just outside the top 5 leaders in field goal percentage, behind guys who mainly are lob threats or strictly shoot shots under the basket. Jokic has just been so incredible, which we've known for a while now, but since the Nuggets are finally healthy, he's having arguably his best season, and it has helped the Nuggets win so many games so far, with the Nuggets currently at 33-14, which is the best record in the West and second best in the league. Speaking of a healthy roster, Jamal Murray is back, and he is coming back quicker than I think most of us expected. He is currently averaging about 19 points per game on similar shooting splits from before his ACL injury, and it seems he gets more and more comfortable on the court as the season has gone along. He has also shown some signs of being a good defender this season, which I think is needed, obviously due to Jokic having his flaws on the defensive end. Michael Porter Jr. has also been playing solid for them as well, but he did just miss 13 games in a row. However, he has looked more aggressive driving to the hoop since that absence, and he's not really settling on tough threes like he was in the beginning of the season, which I think is a great sign for things to come. Aaron Gordon is also having his best season of his career, averaging about 17 points a game and shooting a career high from the field at 59% and from 3 where he's shooting 37%. He has also been able to continue to be a great defender for the Nuggets, and all this combined actually has Nuggets fan questioning if he could be a potential fringe all-star in the West, because you can make the argument he's been the second best player on this team this season. The main core for the Nuggets has just been so instrumental in them being so dominant on the offensive end this year, and when you add on Bones Hyland, KCP, and Bruce Brown, who also give you about 11 to 12 points a game, and depending on who the player is, like KCP and Bruce Brown, what they bring defensively, it just cannot be understated how well this team just fits together. And the defensive pieces of KCP and Bruce Brown cannot be understated because their screen navigation is some of the best in the NBA, and with Jokic playing in drop coverages, it's important for these guys to be elite at the point of attack. As the season has gone along, the Nuggets have gotten better on the defensive end. They started out as one of the worst defensive units based on defensive rating, but now they're currently ranked 17th, and the difference between them and the 10th best defensive team, which is the Washington Wizards, is only a little bit over 2 points. Don't be surprised if the Nuggets continue to improve on that side of the ball to the point where they could potentially be a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. Outside of the Nuggets just playing like one of the best teams in the league, what makes me so confident in the Nuggets even possibly being able to make it to the finals has to do with the other teams in the West. As a Nuggets fan, the only team that I'm truly worried about is the Golden State Warriors. I think that they match up the best against us, with Draymond probably being the best person to guard Jokic, and they also have the playoff experience, so it's a team you have to respect, despite their slow start and depth off the bench being inexperienced, but the Nuggets may not even have to play them depending on the seeding at the end of the year. The Grizzlies are a close second, but I would still take the Nuggets because I don't think they have much of the matchup against Jokic. Steven Adams is too slow, and his free throws will most certainly get him off the court, and then Jaren Jackson Jr. could potentially guard Jokic, but I feel like they would use him more as a help defender rather than a one-on-one guy, and we all know doubling Jokic is a bad idea. I think the Grizzlies have the pieces to compete for sure, but I think the Nuggets match up better against the Grizzlies, and I still think the Grizzlies are about 1 year away from truly being elite. Besides the Warriors and Grizzlies, I think every other team in the West has some sort of issue where I just can confidently say that they would lose against the Nuggets. Even with the Kings being the 3rd seed as I record this video, their defense is just one of the worst in the NBA, so I just don't think they'd be able to compete with the Nuggets with how elite they are on the offensive end. The Pelicans are also in a similar spot as the Grizzlies, but with more injury concerns with Brandon Ingram, who has missed a lot of time this season, of course, and Zion obviously missing time as well. Who knows what they would look like come playoff time. The Mavericks just aren't deep enough of a team despite Luka's greatness. The Timberwolves are just a mid team, and I don't see how a front court with Cat, who has missed half the season so far, and Gobert are going to guard Jokic and all the movement around him. Even with teams like the Clippers and the Suns, who before the season I thought would have been formidable opponents, have just struggled with injuries, and because of that, they just haven't been able to get into a rhythm. Of course, there still is half a season left, so who knows what could happen with these teams, but based on the past 2 to 3 seasons, we shouldn't expect much from these teams who struggle to build cohesive teams late into the season, because it will only leave you disappointed like the Nets last year and the Clippers the entire Kawhi and PG era. The combination of team cohesion, success, and other Western Conference teams either not matching up well or struggling with injuries are all reasons why I think the Nuggets could very well make it to the finals for the first time since their ABA days. Now, do they have a chance to win it all? I'm not sure about that. The Celtics, I think, could definitely make it back to the finals and most likely win it, but I do think the Nuggets would be able to make it close. The Bucks is another team from the East who I think could make the finals as well, but right now I'm kind of concerned with Middleton's injuries, and Giannis has also recently been missing games to an injury. So with all that combined for the Bucks, I wasn't as confident as I was earlier in the season, but I definitely think they still have a chance depending on how those two recover. At the end of the day, who knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see when we get the playoff time. But if you guys did enjoy that video, again, make sure you guys like and sub. Check out my socials down in the description below. You can also check out this video somewhere on the screen where I go over the front office moves going down with the Atlanta Hawks and why this could spell the disaster for the future of the team. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.